Professionals IGP. Greetings from the Ministry of Global Professionals IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable knowledge seekers, today I am your host for the morning. My name is Pranata. I am from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seekers, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and certified international education and training institute. In the last year, we have already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus professions and 4,500 plus organizations. In Institute of Global Professionals, IGP and ISO 9001, 2051 to 2018 is a training facility for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating confidence candidate to meet demand in a demand level market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institute that provides globally recognized and reputable service students and community resources providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it is effective to increase one's usage of the formal education, so we provide effective training and consultation to generate future generations all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to students, job seekers, job holders, and also for learners. To respective campus location and distance learning platform and locational and dependable institutions. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our mission is education is not a business. It's a part of our human right. This is our vision. We are trying to reach all corners of the world for webinars, seminars, courses, awards, quiz competitions, monitoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for like giving our portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and broad knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge, which can upgrade all requires learning game website, free courses, converter sites, and many. We have to empower you to learn to meet the expectation and dreams and become highly skilled people. We implement several training programs, webinars, and often online courses for youth and learners by professional trainers. Speakers and coaches, our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. History knowledge is crucial for the use of global professionals who believe that knowledge is love and light in mission. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we start the good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learners who represent more diversity, both in innovation and equality, with passionate professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill levels and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 1,540 webinars successfully. Wow. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 1,540 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participate evolution. At this moment, this is very important for you all who change and design our website www.eduagp.com and this website is set up for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. You already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities for the regular features. But one strong point there is without an account, the login you can change your services. So create your account so once you prefer information you know that you prefer information you link your features with mismatch data you can't do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competitions on our website. You slide, you have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with the effective certificates. Now it's easier and time oriented. Because after this session, we will not provide you any codes for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After it, if you pass, you will receive the certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in one exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download the previous certificate, certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download the certificate of spiritual. If you are an online quiz competition, you can download certificate of participation. If you are selected for lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any awards function which can organize online support of IGP, you can download that link. You can instantly prepare and download the designation certificates from our website at immediately. Certificate of global membership certificate. sponsored during the pandemic, certificate of active knowledge seeker, certificate of essential activities during the pandemic, certificate of active management knowledge in 2020, certificate of active management knowledge from 2021, certificate of active management knowledge from 2022, certificate of participation in series on authentic assessment in teaching, certificate of participation in series 2 teaching English as a foreign language and assessment, certificate of participation in series 3 digital classroom engagement tools, certificate of participation in series 4 the new trends in education, certificate of participation in series 5 upskilling and leadership and managerial skills, certificate of participation in series 6 science and innovation in mathematics fiction, certificate of participation in series 7 research and comprehensive approach, certificate of participation in series 8 art and teaching a special program in the arts, certificate of participation in series 9 21st century tools in teaching mathematics, certificate of IGP corporate ambassador, certificate of IGP campus ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1000 plus international level quizzes with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teachers, head tips for parents, head tips for teenage games and tools for teachers. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our 50 plus premium services websites for free and many more. Dear IGP Foundation, we premium every promise previous but lack of practical issues. The less something you on time. This is a great opportunity to connect with previous credentials to solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for web identity. It's a cordial request to you. Check all buttons and pages on our website. Surely I can say will be benefited. Thank you. But with an account or login, you can enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 1540. The program name is mental. Program name is Mind Your Mental Health. And our today's speaker, ma'am, is Gaufia Siddiq. And before I hand over the stage to ma'am, I want to share a very little bit about our speaker. Training constellation, right? ICP is certified life coach, certified transitional coach, certified professional trainer, certified PUCSO trainer, certified emotional intelligence and positive psychology. Now it's very important. Now it's very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you for that introduction. It is really a pleasure to be interacting with IGP.
Thank you, ma'am. Now you can start
Shall,
your presentation.
yes, I'll do that.
Ma'am, presentation.
Please give me a second. Yes, do you see it?
Thank you, ma'am. Now can start.
All right, so shall we begin? All right, so today we are going to be talking about how to take care of our mental health. Ma'am, do you hear me? Is everything clear? Ma'am, do you hear me? Do you hear me, ma'am? All right, ma'am, do you hear me? Okay. Ma'am, do you hear me, ma'am? Okay, if someone can acknowledge my voice, and I can continue. Ma'am, do you hear me? Okay. Okay, so now when we talk about mental health, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? The first thing that comes to our mind when we hear the word mental health is how important it is for us. Now, when we say mental health, normally a lot of us think about some kind of a stigma, some kind of a strange thought that sticks onto our minds. But mental health is more than those age old recipes, age old things that we have been hearing. Mental health is just not about anything that is not meant to be, but mental health is something that we need to take care of. Mental health is something that is important, and mental health is something that really monitors how we are supposed to be taking care of our minds, our health, our bodies. Right? So now, mental health is not just anything out of the blue. Mental health is what exactly is in our heads. So when we say mental health, how we see ourselves is mental health. I hope you can see my presentation too. Now, how do we see ourselves? We may see ourselves as brave. We may see ourselves as meek. We may see ourselves as dull. We may see ourselves as bold. Now, sometimes this affects us positively, or sometimes this may affect us negatively, right? So, now how exactly this helps us is not in our hands, but it is in our thoughts, in our minds. Now, it is important for us to ensure that we present ourselves in a manner that people can actually see us, approve of us, and ensure that we are in the best of health. Now, if any challenge comes up to us, how do we face the challenge? Do we see it positively, or do we cry, or do we get afraid? Now, is it wrong to get afraid? Is it actually wrong to get afraid? I suppose it is not. I don't think it is wrong. It definitely isn't wrong because what we do, what we think is all but a very natural process of what is supposed to be. Even if we get afraid, it is okay because this is how we are meant to be and this is how we actually do take care of ourselves. But sometimes things become so worse. Sometimes things become so challenging that we enter into a state of sorrow, depression. We enter into a state of not leading anywhere, not going anywhere. Now, this state becomes a very stagnant state. It becomes a very dangerous state. Now, it is important for us to take care of the state in a healthy, positive manner. Now, when we say, I see myself nice and brave, I ensure that whatever issue or problem I have, I take care of it very positively. I don't have a problem with it. Then I may consider that I have an extremely positive sense of mind, that I have a very positive mental health. Now, let me ask you one small question. How are you? What would you tell me? If I ask you, how are you? What would you tell me? Can I have some answers? Anybody in the chat? If I have to ask, how are you? What would you answer? Okay, I don't see any chats coming up. Okay, so I hear I'm good, I'm doing well. Now, isn't that wonderful to hear? I'm okay. Right. Now, if I ask you, how do you feel today? What would you feel like answering? You would want to say, yeah, I'm good. Why are you asking this? Now, if I tell you that how you feel is an exact replication of your mental health, would that create a difference? Now, mental health is about how do I take care of myself? What should I know? What should I not know? Dr. Brock in 1954 said, if you are not having a mental health, then I don't see prospect for a physical health. Now, why did he say that? Because just because our mental health is proportional to our physical health. So I need to know what is the mental health that I have versus what is it supposed to be. I need to know how exactly should I recognize what I am going through. Just because my friend says, hey, you're fine, come on, does not mean I am fine. If I am not fine, if there is something that is pulling me down, then I am genuinely not fine and I need to seek help. That ability to identify that I am not fine and the ability to know, okay, now I need to talk to somebody is mental health. If I have to ask you about whom should I go and ask for help? Should I go to a friend? Should I go to a family member? Should I go to somebody I trust? A psychologist? A psychiatrist? A psychotherapist? A counselor? Who am I supposed to be talking to? That is the knowledge that I should have about mental health. Now, let us say I lost a pen, one of my favorite pens that my dad gifted me when I scored first mark in my class 10. Now, let us say I get that. Then I am very happy. Can I go and discuss a deep underlying issue in my office with my father for that? Will my father be able to help me out with that? Now, if I lose my pen, can I talk to my father? Yes. If this issue about concerning my office is there, can I talk to my father? To a certain extent, I can share, but will my father be able to understand and help me cope up with the situation? Is my father a qualified professional? Now, I need to know that. I need to understand that. So, what is the meaning of professional help? Who are these so called professional people? How are they going to help? What am I supposed to be doing? Right? Now, at some point of time, I might think, okay, now I am feeling low. I need some help. Self help. What is the meaning of self help? Is it drinking some strong, nice lemon water? Is it taking a walk in the park? Is it playing with my pet? Is it going for a nice long run? What exactly does the self help mean? Am I able to identify? Am I able to correlate? Am I able to do it? What causes this? I am frustrated. Don't talk to me right now. I am angry. What is the cause of this? Where does this fall? Will it get over in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Or is it going to take longer than that? Am I able to identify the distress that I am going through? Is it for a small period of time? Is it for a long period of time? Is it affecting only me? Is it affecting people around me? Should my family members be careful? Is it affecting their life? Right? So, am I able to identify all of this? So, now when I ask you, how are you? Are you able to look at all of this information and now answer, how are you? Keeping all this in mind? So, now I am sure that this is going to be a little more than I am fine, right? Yes, can somebody answer, how are you now? I'm waiting for your answers. How are you doing now? Okay, I don't see a lot of answers coming in. All right, so moving on. What is the difference between mental health and emotional health? How does mental health differ from emotional health? Can somebody help me understand? Mental health is when I am able to accept myself, when I am able to understand my emotion, when I am able to take care of whatever comes to me in my life, when I am able to take care of the challenges and how my thoughts are tuned and how my mind is being tuned into what I am going through. How am I facing whatever I have? How am I going to drive what I have to say? Now, what is the thing? What is that is actually affecting me? Am I in peace with myself? This is mental health. Emotional health refers to the feeling that I am going through. I may feel loved. I may feel sad. I may feel angry. I may feel delighted. So, emotional health refers to what I am going through in terms of my emotion. Mental health deals with the peace that I have. So, where exactly am I now? What am I going through now? Right now, in this present moment, where exactly are we? Are we going through something that is good, nice? Am I enjoying this minute? Or am I going through something that is, way out of what I'm supposed to be? Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I living? Now, this, in other words, is called mindfulness. Now, when we talk about mindfulness, how am I living this very second? Am I connected? Let's take a 2-second gap and let's see how many of us are feeling our breath. How many of us are experiencing our breath right now? How many of us are, wow, wonderful crew, if I'm saying that right, crew? Right. How many of us are experiencing our breath right now? How many of us feel that my breath? How many of us are feeling our fingers, the touch? How many of us are exactly at peace? How many of us are aware of our thoughts? How many of us can, feel the blood flow? Right? So what are we doing now? We are right here in the moment. If you're able to hear me, if you're able to understand me, if you can feel what I am feeling, if you can get my points right, then you are right here in the moment. But here, if you're thinking about breakfast, if you're thinking about food, if you're thinking about something else, if you're scratching something in your pen, you are physically there, but mentally not there. Now, imagine being in a state where you are present in the moment, in there physically, but you are totally occupied with something else. You're like, oh my God, I didn't complete this task. I need to go home. I need to go and cook. What am I going to do? My guy is waiting over there, my man is there, I need to go quickly, I need to ensure that I cook for my family. When am I leaving? When is this meeting getting over? When we do that, what happens? We tend to build up a whole lot of stress, a whole lot of tension, right? So what happens to us? We tend to bring in improper mental health issues. Now, this mental health is not just putting some other kind of a pressure in us, but it is totally weighing down. It brings down our entire energy, what we are going through, what we have, what we face. It brings down the entirety. So, how are we going to look at that? How are we going to face that? Right. Now, if you think this is happening only to me, then I am sorry to say you are wrong. Do you see a number on your screen? Do you see a number? Can somebody tell me what is this number? Can somebody tell me what is this number? 86 million? Yes. Now, why have I put an 86 million here? Any idea? Any guesses? Why would I have put this here? This is because, any guesses? Any guesses? Anybody? Crew, Jocelyn. I don't see a lot of members active. I would love to see a lot of people active. This is because, Jocelyn, true, this is because approximately, yes, approximately, exactly, Jocelyn. This is because approximately 86 billion people around the world are experiencing mental illnesses right now, this current moment. So that could be probably somebody sitting next to you. That could be probably what they are going through right now. That could be probably what we do not know who is experiencing next to us. That means it is 1 in every 8 people. Can you look at that ratio? 1 in every 8 people. My God, isn't that sad? That is so very sad. Sad not because they are suffering, sad because we are next to them and probably we think we are good, mentally healthy, and we are not able to help them. Sad because maybe we are going through the same thing, but we are not able to identify it. Sad because we mock people who we have no clue what they are going through. Sad because they might not know that they are 1 in that 8, right? So 1 in every 8 people has some kind of a mental health issue. Mostly, the ratio mostly is one of mankind's most productive age. Generally, 18, where adulthood is supposed to be officially beginning, 18 to 25, the core years of a man's life, of a human's life, right? Here is when life happens. I finish my graduation, I get into a job, people get married, people get into jobs, people grow, people do masters, people move abroad, people join jobs. This is the age where change happens, right? And this is the first quarter of life. And this is where people start experiencing issues. Can you believe that? Isn't that just sad? A girl is beginning her work after struggling to fight and to study and join a job. Let's assume she's from a very conservative family. She fights, says, I need to go to a job, and joins a job, and now she has a stress disorder, right? There's somebody who joins a workforce where there is a lot of deadlines and constraint, and this person has anxiety. He wants to be on top, right? There is somebody who has got married, moved into a new household, wants to be at peace and at love, but doesn't feel loved. lack of mental health. And here, it's not that they are to be blamed, it is the environment in which they are to be blamed. Now, who is that environment? You know, those seven people apart, that one person, we are the environment. And what kind of a psychological safety are we providing to that person? Are we saying, don't worry, I'm there for you? Or are we saying, come on, just grow up here? What are we doing? How are we helping? Right? Now, out of all these people, 33%, nearly 33% are going through the recovery phase. You understand what that means? A majority of the people, more than half the population, does not even know that they have to go to a therapist or a counselor or help or even talk to their family. They think people are going to think low of them. They're going to be degraded. They do not have the courage because of you and me not giving them that psychological safety. Right? And the amount of money that is invested here is approximately 133.73 crores. I'm talking about Indian rupees. Right? 133.7 crores that are invested in therapy alone. What is the point when there is no change happening? And when does this change happen? When that person feels secure, right? When that person feels secure. And is that person going to be feeling really secure when we do not support them? Now we might think, okay, now out of all this, what exactly is going to work here? There is something called therapy. Therapy is nothing but change, help. Now, even the talk therapy, meaning you can talk to the person next to you, right? Let us say about 80% actually would love it when somebody listens to them, when somebody talks to them, right? And when they get to let loose of all the emotions that are there in their mind, then they feel much better, right? Because these are the things that are holding them back. True? So now I am a coach. I am a trainer. So, as a trainer, I talk to people. As a coach, I listen to people. People need somebody to listen to. So, the next time your friend says, I need to talk to you, I'm going through something, it would be really nice if you could listen to me. Do you think that would work for you? Wouldn't it work? It has to work because the other person who was feeling so lonely, so low, now wants to open up. Now they want to say that, okay, somebody's there to listen to me. I am no longer lonely. Mental health is about being lonely, feeling sad, feeling left over. That's suffocation of being let down and people not being there to hear. So now there's somebody who says, okay, now I have somebody who's going to listen to me, so I am going to let loose. I am going to talk. And this actually works. Now, all that they need is a year where people are going to listen to them. Can you and I assure that we can be that year? Yes, give me a thumbs up if it is a yes. Give me a yes. Ray, Crew, Jocelyn, you were the only people who are active. Masood, Mark. Right, so now when we as individuals are ready to listen to people. Thank you, Ray. Now, when people are there ready to talk to listen to, don't you think that one in every eight is going to some way change? It can become one in 80, one in 800, and you and I are going to cause that. There is no angel descending down. You and I are going to be the only people who are going to do that, right? The next important factor is mindfulness. This is something that I told you earlier too, right? Being there, present in that very moment, staying there, being there for somebody, being there for ourselves, right? My grandmother used to tell me something. She used to always say, when you are doing something, do only that thing. And I would always tell her, what else do you think I'm going to be doing? Now, when I do something, I have to be doing exactly that, is what I understood when she died. Because when I am doing something, 100,000 thoughts occupy my mind, and then I understand how wrong it is. I try and, shun all that away, think, okay, I'm going to focus only on this. And that's when my current bill, that's when my messages, that's when every other unwanted thing in the world comes in. Something that is not important at that very second, right? So, being there mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually is so very important. And that's the reason meditation and mindfulness works wonders. And this needs rigorous practice, a lot of practice. Now, when I am talking to you, I need to be right here. If I'm going to be thinking about something else, the flow of thought between my mouth and my mind is going to be lost. All that I wanted to tell you is somehow going to go disappear, right? It is important for me to be there with you mentally and physically. It is similar that when we are doing something, we need to be there, probably while brushing our teeth, probably while writing something, right? So, irrespective of what we do, this also has a major, beautiful effect on people. The next important thing is medication. Now, this comes in other psychotic issues, right? For schizophrenia, for other uh, things like actual psychiatric treatment required. Of course, medication plays a whole lot of importance. Again, even there, people believe in taking rest. Psychiatrists always say, don't think too much, take your medication, get enough rest, walk into the nature, take a deep breath whenever you can, right? Ensure that you spend time relaxing. In this, actually, doctors do say this, right? Take a nature break, walk outside, get up early in the morning, get fresh air. Now, why do they say this? Because along with medication, some other things are important, and these other things have more effect on the medication, along with the medication, and for the medication to work better, right? Yes. Similarly, physical exercise. Exercise brings us to the moment, and hence, exercise also helps. Right? Moving on. Now, when we talk about mental illnesses all over the world, the number is huge. It is almost close to half the world population. So that is approximately 45.3%. So you and I are not the only ones. So nobody can say, South Asians have this, Asians have this, because mental health is not an Asian disorder or an Asian disease. Mental health isn't, I wouldn't even call it a disease. Mental health is a global issue. And how much are we concentrating on this global issue? How much time are we spending on it? When people from the outside, when people um, from the world level are concentrating on climate change, are concentrating on artificial intelligence, are concentrating on machine learning, on big data, on simplifying huge data sheets into simpler forms. Yes, growth is happening. I wouldn't deny that at all. We are focusing towards a new, better future. We are focusing on something that is important, on something that is super important. Agreed. But How mentally strong are we to face all this? How mentally involved are we? Are we creating a world so artificially intelligent and smart that we have forgotten who we are and that we are humans who need rest, who are supposed to be present, who are supposed to be alert to create that, who are not supposed to be overburdened? Because under every physical issue is a mental issue. Once a mental issue hits in, then people realize, oh, I was supposed to be taking rest. I work for 18 hours in my office. I am drained, tired, and then I drive. God forbid I meet with an accident. I break my leg or an arm, and then I come here and I say, oh, that was bad. I wish I had taken rest so that I wouldn't have driven that vehicle. Right? So, under every physical symptom is an emotional or a mental symptom. Somebody died of angina. Um, what do you call that? A heart attack, right? Somebody has angina. Why did he get angina? Because he was so frustrated, he was so overworking himself that his blood did not flow properly through his entire body. Somebody is in extreme depression. Now, depression clinically can have a lot of reasons. I would not like to get into that. But why? Because probably he was so busy doing what? Now, this is an outside a medical opinion, so please do not take it as a medical opinion at all. Right? So, somebody is so involved in not taking care of his mental health that it has hit him hard on the physical side. Right? Please understand that this is something that is not important. This is something that is super important. Now, how important is mental health? Mental health, strong mental health gives us a very strong sense of clarity. People who are mentally strong are more confident because they know where they are and what they have to do and where they are going. They are not afraid of anybody's opinions. They are very comfortable with their opinions, with others' opinions. It does not disturb them because they know what they are doing. They can easily cope up with different ideas, thought processes. They don't have a problem with it at all. Reason being, they know what is there, right? They are there very much in their skin. There's nothing to be afraid of. They know that if people are saying something, it is either important for them. If they want to take it, they take it. If it is not important for them, then they let it go. True? They don't have to worry about things that are not important. It is very important for mentally healthy, strong people to be at peace with themselves, right? It is extremely important for people to be at peace with themselves. Reason being, reason being, only if they are at peace with themselves will they be able to cope up or concentrate with the other set of people, right? Now, when we talk about mental peace and having and being there, let us understand that there is something called, the triangular wholesomeness. It is the mind, the body, and the spirit. Even if one of this is out of place, then it becomes very, very difficult for people to work together. When the mind is peaceful, the body is peaceful. When the mind and the body are peaceful, then the entire soul, the spirit is at peace. Now, some of you may believe in the spirit, may not believe in the spirit, but on a general note, this completeness allows us to go further. This completeness helps us understand what we are going through, what the others are going through, what is supposed to be done. Right? If people do not actually face this, then things are going to be very difficult. Now, what is good mental health? Right? When we talk about people having good mental health, it means being there with family. Now, how many of us actually are there with family? How many of us are there with family? But most of us are again present with family, but we do not do things that are meant to be done with family, right? We need to be there completely present. We need to ensure that we are taking care of what we have to do, right? We need to ensure that we are with family and friends. We need to talk to others. We need to ensure that we spend productive time. We need to have a strong sense of purpose. Even with family, even with friends, what is the sense of purpose that they are deriving over that we are giving, right? We need to ensure that for everything, there needs to be a little bit of love and laughter. We may get disappointed, right? I don't say we will not get disappointed. We may get disappointed, right? Disappointment is again likely to be present. But do we have a positive outlook to it? Of course, if not with family, then who? Right? Are we bound to show that and exhibit that joy? I believe yes. With all the trials that I have gone through in the past years, if there's somebody who is going to be there with you throughout your life, it is going to be family. So if you are born in a family that you have not chosen, they love you the most. If you are choosing a family, choose one that loves you, right? You need to have a healthy self esteem. Now, this self esteem is a big topic. We will talk about it. Now, when we say being resilient is important, how important is resilience and what is resilience? Resilience is like that bouncy ball that comes back to you, right? Resilience is being there. No matter what the situation is, you come back to life. Everybody deals with some kind of a difficult or a stressful situation, right? Everybody goes through that. Now, how you handle that is something that you have to master. Now, this ability to master that and this ability to come back is something that a resilient person does. If you're able to recover from a difficult situation, from any kind of a disappointment, if you're able to bounce back, this is what I told you in the beginning, right? If you're able to come back there and exhibit that strong show, then you are resilient. Now, self esteem. Now, this begins from a completely different order, Olden psychologists earlier, like Pavlov is a Russian psychologist who conducted a series of experiments on dogs. Right. Now he said that you can actually train dogs, you can actually, bring a sense of proper, all of us know we can train dogs, right? Now he said there's some kind of a programming that happens in dogs. Right. And he conducted a whole set of series of experiments to this to prove this. Right. Now this is what Pavlov did. Now, similarly, Maslow created something else. He called something the hierarchy of needs, of which esteem is very important. Right? We will get into hierarchy, but before that, self esteem is something where we have a sense of value, a sense of respect, and a self of confidence in ourselves, about ourselves, for ourselves. True? How confident am I? How good am I? How much do I value myself? Right? Now, people sometimes have a very low self esteem of themselves or a sense of high self esteem of themselves. It is important for people to be happy. It is important for people to have a good sense of self esteem. Reason being, reason being, I am who I think I am. Yes, if I am not confident about who I am, then it is going to be extremely difficult for me, for people, for others for me to make them understand who I am. I need to know that first. And for that, we need self esteem. Now, if I have a positive self esteem, I'm going to be very confident. I'm going to make all the proper choices about my health and my psychology. My overall attitude is going to be different. But if I do not have a very strong self esteem, then I'm going to be feeling very low. I'm going to feel, Are, yeah, what life? Why am I here? What am I doing? Right? And that is going to bring my energy very, 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 very low. People are not going to like it. I am not going to like it, right? So I need to ensure that my self esteem is good. I am confident. True. Now, how to increase my self esteem? When somebody praises me, I'm feeling very happy. When I do my job well, I'm feeling very happy, right? When I undergo some new kind of a challenge and I'm good at it, or I even make it an attempt, I make a try, then I'm going to increase my self esteem. Why? Because I have done something that I haven't done before, and I'm very happy about it. Right? Remember when you first learned cycling, biking, right? Earlier, we were very hesitant, and dad or bhaiya or brother, somebody used to hold the back or the cycle's back rear part, right? And then we used to struggle and we used to fall. But when they held and we were confident that they were there, and after a certain period of time, they let go and we cycled way ahead. That's when we had that huge big smile on our face, right? That increases our self esteem. Now we think, wow, I have won something big. This is something great. This is something I couldn't do earlier. True, that increases it. Now, if we talk positively to ourselves, every time you look into the mirror, now this isn't very difficult a task. All of us feel low, I don't deny. But every time you look into the mirror, just tell yourself, hey, you've got a nice smile, right? I love myself. I am fantastic. I am enough, right? Beautiful little affirmations. Every time you look into the mirror, just tell yourself something that you would want to hear, that you would love listening to. Instead of waiting for somebody else to tell you that, keep telling yourself that, because that is going to program your mind. That is something that you will start believing in. That is something that will create an impact in you. That is something that is going to take you way forward. And that is something you will become. You become what you think you will become, isn't it? So, don't you think we deserve to be said something good? Don't you think we deserve to be said something nice? Now, when we have a healthy self esteem, we are going to be feeling very proud of all that we've done, of our skill set, of our thoughts, of whatever we've done through, what we've gone through. We're going to be feeling very happy about it, right? We feel that anything that is stuck early is going to be very temporary. We are not stuck in our past. We are going to move ahead. True. We feel that we are confident enough to take care of face any challenge that we are going. True. If there is something that is creating a problem for us, we know, oh, this is a very temporary thing. Come on, I've seen more than this. Give me more. I can handle it. Right. So we are going to be confident about every little thing. We don't break down. We know what should be done and how to tackle that situation. Right? We've all been through rough phases. We've all been there. We've all done those things that required our grit, our determination. We didn't expect it to come. Somewhere deep inside, you come back and think, how did I even manage that situation? And that's who you are. Because you inside are made up of stern stuff. What happens with we lose the trust and the belief in the faith that we have in ourselves, and we get ridden away by others' thoughts and others' comments, so that we lose ourselves in the long way, right? Let's pause, take a break, and tell ourselves, babe, you rock, you are enough, you are good for you are enough for you love yourself, you are positive. Keep assuring yourself. Trust me, and that's going to make you beautifully confident, right? Never, ever, ever, ever see anything or yourself as a failure if you have a breakdown once. Trust me, a meltdown is the best thing that can happen to you if you want to become successful. Unless we break down, we cannot become strong. Anything that has been broken once has become stronger twice. Please keep that in mind. Right? Now, how do we improve the self esteem? Never associate yourself with somebody who is cynical or critical or who criticizes you. People who are critical will always ensure that they bring something or the other negative in you. Reach for the stars, but start one step at a time. Set expectations that are very, 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 very realistic, right? Set expectations that will help you grow. Not everything is meant to be wowed and perfect. It is okay to have an error here or there. It will make you better, it will make you stronger, right? We all love Picasso's paintings. What people considered error in a previous era, people consider art in the next, right? Don't be afraid to make that mistake. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing ever, ever to lose. Never your self esteem at least. Associate with yourself with people who will make you happy, who will respect you. Always look at things that are positive and always replace any negative talk with a positive talk, right? Ensure that people love you for who you are. Ensure that you love yourself for who you are. Make every mistake a learning chance. Allow yourself to make that mistake. Unless we try it and unless we make that mistake, we will never be able to discover our talent, right? Write down every single goal that you need. Write down every single thing that you are going to do in order to achieve that, right? We all know goals need to be smart and goals need to be set. Goals need to be taken time. Goals need to be measured. We know all of that about goals. How many of us take one step at a time? Let's do that today. And if you need to feel good, the best thing is help someone. Go out and reach out. If you do not reach out, you will not feel that people come to you when you need them, right? And when you give a part of your energy away, then you create that space to receive more joy and more energy. And these things will change you from within. Focus on your energy that can always, always, always change others' energy, right? Develop some kind of an awareness of yourself. Like we said, no, take a deep breath, feel yourself, see what you are, where you are, right? Feel the blood running through your veins, feel that air you breathe, feel your body, feel deeply, feel well. Become aware of your surrounding, become aware of your conscious, become aware of your thoughts. A lot of people tell us, when even we would have felt, when I think is when I think I shouldn't think anything is when I have a whole lot of thoughts coming to me. And it's a very natural thing. Let them come and drift away. Become aware of it. Right? Now we all need some growth and help. And that's why Maslow created this hierarchy. Right? Maslow said they are a set of needs. Right? I hope you can see this. I'm going to be going a little fast here. The first need is physical need. We all need food, shelter, water, right? The next is safety need. We all need some kind of a shelter. We need to be safe from danger. We need protection. We need security. We need some kind of an order in place. We need law. We need basic limits. And these things are going to be keeping us very, very protected. True. Next, we need love. We need to feel belonged. We want people to be there for us. We all would have felt that at some point or the other. I wish there was somebody who could understand me. I wish there was somebody who told me that they love me no matter what the situation is. Everybody needs this feeling of love. Remember, if you need to be loved, you need to love yourself. This is the mantra that I strongly, strongly believe in. If you want to be loved, first learn to love. First yourself, then others. Right? If this includes family, positive affection, relationships, colleagues, then it's the best thing that can ever happen to. Then the next thing is your esteem needs, right? Everybody wants to be recognized for something or the other. So your basic little achievements, the status, the responsibility, whatever reputation you have, all of this is actually because you need to feel recognized. Whatever man does, it is because of these needs only. If he's studying well, if he's getting a good job, if he's earning, if he's falling in love, if he's getting married, it is somewhere because of these needs. And these are needs that he doesn't have to prove anybody. These are needs that he fulfills because he feels the need to do it. Right? It is not to show anyone. He needs this in him. And this is why Maslow very intelligently put it called the hierarchy of needs. At every point, somebody needs this. And the next one is actualization. And when we say actualization, this I would say is even perfection, right? We need to be the best in our growth personally. We need to be fulfilled. And when this doesn't happen, we break down so bad. We need to ensure that we need to be the best, right? Sometimes you see people at their retirement or people who achieve something, who are exemplarily awarded for their lifetime, the lifetime achievement and all that is the brim, the peak of their career. They feel so wowed at it, and this is because man is made that way. Now you need to ensure that what you do should be done in a healthy manner. We are all working through our needs, but how many of our needs are being done in a healthy way? Is it at the cost of our health? Is it at the cost of our mental health? Right? If it is at the cost of your mental health, does it even make sense? Does it even matter? If you are spending your physical and your mental health in order to achieve your needs, it's a big red flag. No, never, ever, ever do it in a high risk manner. Let's say you want to, you're going in a race and you want to be the first person. You give your fullest potential to it. Let's say it's a bike ride, right? You give your complete potential to it, but God forbid you meet with an accident. You break down. Not only have you lost the vehicle, the ride, you have lost your physical ability to move. Is that even worth it? But if you are mentally weak, you will argue and fight with me saying that that was important. Maybe, yes, it was important, but it will take a lifetime for you to realize that probably not at the cost of your physical being, right? So, how do you meet each one of this in your level right now? Right now, people who are listening to me, the 5 or 6 or the 8 people, or people who are going to who are going to be listening to this at a later time, you need to see where you are. What are the needs you have achieved? Have your basic needs, your physical needs met? Have your safety needs met? Right? What do you want to? And what is the level you are focusing at? And is there any cost at it? Right? There is a cost for everything. Never let that cost be your physical thing. Right? Now, always, always, always keep this in mind. Now, when we talk about this, we all have certain stigmas attached. Stigma in the sense, some kind of a fear, some kind of a a conception about a preconceived notion about something. Now there is something called the screen stigma, as I would like to call it. Today, currently, we are so attached to our screens that half our world is in our screen. Tomorrow, if I tell you, okay, let's take a walk outside and feel nature, probably everybody will just take a pair of glasses and say, okay, switch on the button and say, wow, I enter nature, I see the woods, I walk their leaves, I see the forest. And AI is going to become even more powerful in such a manner that I can smell the wood, that I can smell nature. It's going to happen, no doubt at all, right? And this is what we believe will be true. Probably 2060, 2080, This exactly will be happening and it will be true. People are going to say this is how the world works. And they will look at us like outdated species, right? Now, when we fall into this stigma right now, this is going to be programming our mental self right from the age today. A small child who is about 2 years or 1.5 to 2 years becomes a little cranky, and the mother gives the child, hands over a phone to the child, and the child is super happy because the mind has gone somewhere else. The mind has drifted from the current state to some kind of a desired state, right? Now, when we are handing over our ability, our thought, our mind into somebody else's something else notion, we tend to view that as a desired state. We don't know what is happening on the other side. We don't know what is going on. We don't even know if that is real or not. Recently, a girl married a virtual boyfriend of hers, right? And then she wanted a divorce also because she said, despite being virtual, he's becoming too authoritative. So we don't know what the desired state is going to be. So, how am I going to train my mind to create a sense of detachment from what is being present? Now, this causes guilt and insomnia and agitation and many other disorders. All of this, which is largely going to be mental. That is the reason today mental health is cropping up so much. 50 years back, also the problem was there. People did not pay much attention to it, but suddenly, all of a sudden, why are people so much bothered about mental health these days? Because this is going to become a leading cause of physical health issues. So people in the healthcare industry are going to be happy, but you and me are going to individually on a very personal basis suffer because we don't have anybody to talk to, because we feel very ashamed of talking to somebody, and this is the stigma that is attached. And how did this stigma come up? Because I am looking at ABC in the screen and I'm saying, wow, I need a physical body like that. We don't even know if it is true or real or cropped or photoshopped or morphed, right? But we attach us a sense of desired reality so much to that image that we have forgotten who we are, what we are. Let us take a moment and step back and see, is virtual reality virtual or is it a reality? There is a gap between virtual and reality that people have today made it virtual reality. I know it is going to be sounding a little new and strange and odd, but let's look at it in a different manner. What is the stigma there? Why is the stigma there? Is my mind being affected by the stigma? Am I being programmed? Am I being a part of the experiment that Pavlov conducted? Is my sub-programming happening? And is this programming leading me into something that I do not want, or that I want that is unrealistic in nature? Let's take care and be aware of all these signs that may lead me there. Now, when I said we need to mend the mind, we need to ensure that we need to do something good, better. We need to allow ourselves to do something better. We need to first understand what are the different stages of this mending. Now, most of us who are talking, who are listening, when we, or probably if you're sharing this with somebody, the first thing that people are going to tell you is, hey, what rubbish are. This is how the world is going to work. You are outdated. What mind, peace of mind, thought process nonsense. And they will go back home and cry when they sleep. Why isn't anybody there for me? Or they will talk to somebody, chat with somebody, spend time, and suddenly that person will block and disappear and gone. Again, they will get back and cry. Right? And then they will understand, come to you and say, hey, maybe you were right. Yeah, this grief thing, no? This feeling lonely, right? This is all very sad. I am really feeling very thin. Do you know about some kind of a person who can help me? Who is this mind ka doctor? Can you help me with someone? So, first thing is denial. People will not accept it. And it's okay. That is how it has to begin. Then you know this person needs help, right? And then insight, right? If you tell somebody, hey, you've got some kind of an OCD, see, I think you're just overthinking this. You need to relax. You need to take a break, right? This is a phobia that is also an OCD. They might not agree, right? For example, I have a very close friend, a family member also, who has trichophobia, right? And then when you say it's a nonsense, what rubbish, they will not. And then they will accept it at a very later point of time when probably there's nothing left. And then they will think, why did this happen? Then the insight begins. What happened? Why did it happen? How did it happen? What to do? Why not to do? What should I not do? Yes. And then there is action. Okay, now tell me I am ready. Whom should I talk to? What should I do? Right? And then there is involvement. Good. This change from acceptance to insight is gradual. Insight to action requires a whole lot of strength from within. And this strength is going, this action needs a whole lot of power backup, constant motivation, constant changes, constant, focus. And when that action is happening, they will see a result. That result is the self esteem part, right? People are very happy, and then the self esteem happens. People are very good at it, they're very nice, they see that change happening, and this self esteem will be at all the levels, right? It has given them a sense of completeness, wholeness, growth, motivation, happiness, joy, change. Yes. And then there is healing. They feel very relaxed, healed, very confident, right? And then there is meaning. Why did this happen to me? Has it made me a better person? Now, do I have a stronger confidence level? How do I feel right now? What am I going through right now? Should this be more? Should this be less? Right? What should I do? What should I not do? Creating a meaning. Then they go out and they help people, right? You would have seen people who come out of centers, who come out of other hospitals, and then they contribute themselves to the well-being of others. I have a friend who has come out of an alcohol rehab center, and he went in there because of excessive alcohol abuse. And today he goes around telling young people, man, see my pictures. This is who I was. This is what I made out of my life. And then when my mother died, I accepted this, that this is the cause. And then see, today I'm telling you, don't let what happened to me, allow it to happen to you. Right? Based on this, in the States, there is a complete prison that has cats. People get a cat for their good behavior. You can Google it and check if you need to. People get a cat if they show good behavior. Right? And people take care of this cat, and then they feed it, and then they bathe it, and they keep it with them. It's a very close friend because it gives meaning to their life. They make it feel these cats allow the men to feel that there's somebody who loves them, because animals don't discriminate. No. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, when this happens, is it possible for you to reverse all of this? If you are undergoing a mental issue, a mental state now, is there any possibility that you can reverse it? Trust me, this reversal is so possible. It is actually possible. It can happen. You need a social connection. You need people to talk to. You need to share what is there in your mind. You don't deserve to be handling it alone. You are a wonder. You are a you're a soul. You're a piece of the universal existence. You are not supposed to be in trouble. You are meant to be at peace. You are meant to be happy. Right? This is not why we are created for to be sad and sorrowful. No. We need to talk. We need to share. We need to have a good social connection. We need to be active. We need to ensure that we are pretty active. This will help our mind to divert from what not to think. We need to be managing our stress. And this stress should be managed in a very, very, very healthy manner. Right? Probably you can paint or draw or color, or you can make something, or you can take a walk, or you can take a walk with your pet. We need to ensure that we have a brain healthy diet. High fat food will make us sleep again, droop again, and again we are going to be thinking of something that we shouldn't be thinking, right? We need to read. We need to ensure we put positive things in our head. There are a whole lot of books that help us with positivity. And again, there are contradictory views to that as well. But we need to ensure that we read a lot, that we share a lot, right? We need enough sleep. A lot of our unhealthy thoughts come in when we are not able to sleep. So let's sleep 6 hours, 8 hours maximum, and let that have quality. Let it not just be quantitative hours of futile sleep. Let's have a meaning for all that we do, right? And when this is done, trust me, 40% of patients have actually felt better. And for 3%, things have deteriorated, right? And things have deteriorated in certain psychosis cases, right? Psychosis cases meaning people who actually suffer from mental illnesses, something that requires psychiatric treatment, not from the other issues, right? So all of this actually works. We need to ensure that we bring that 1 in 8 to 1 in 8,000, 1 in 80,000 in the long run, right? So now, mental health is important, is as important as physical health. Not everything that one goes through is seen. It is, don't expect people to notice what you are going through. You might look extremely happy from outside. People may not have slight idea about what you're going through from the inside. Maintain a positive work life balance. Don't work for the others, work only for you. And this is my favorite. There's nothing better than a peaceful heart and a sound mind. Your money, your cars and your palaces and your bungalows are not important, right? So let you and me and us and we, let all of us be happy and healthy and joyful. All right. So now with this, I would like to conclude for the day. So I'm Gausha. I'm an independent consultant from GoCoach. Right. So at any point of time, you can get in touch with me on my LinkedIn, on my contact, and I will always be there to help you out. All right. So with this, thank you. To all those active participants, Jocelyn, Ray, and crew, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for being there. Do you have any questions for me? I'm going to be dedicating the next few minutes for questions. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. You're welcome, Jocelyn. Ray, crew, you're welcome.
Uh, Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which is our only intention. Learn and grow together RGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question and answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinars. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us after a short video. We'll be back in our session part 2, which is the question and answer part. Dear RGB knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear RGB knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Um, thank you, ma'am. I think covered all of our topics, and that's why thank you, ma'am. Uh,
Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and new date. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Honorable Ma'am, before we move to the next webinar sub process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, ma'am. IGP knowledge seeker, it's time for the webinar activation process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar activation. After webinar activation, we have an online quiz competition and a quiz question. IGP knowledge seekers, it's time for the webinar activation process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar activation. After webinar activation, we have an online quiz competition and quiz solution. Certificate instruction is www.eduagip.com. Please make sure to present on our website find your learning session and get enrolled. After watching and completing part 1, you decision click Mark is complete. Move to the next is the learning test quiz passing mark 80%. If pass back to the course diagram, learning certificate is ready to retake the quiz. Download certificate in PDF or shape. For admission, I am going to share the procedure again. Certificate instruction visit www.eduagip.com. Please make sure to present on our website, sign up or sign in, Find a running session and get enrolled after watching your completed part 1. Step to tick mark is complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test scores, passing mark 80%. If pass back to the course again to download certificate, it will take it. Download the certificate and PDF received. Dear Aditya Naluskar, it's time for the most engaging part of this generation online course competition of creating the regular activity. We change a few process for online live course competition. Note that after live, no one can participate. Participation process now time for the online course competition. To join the online course competition property, please follow my instructions carefully. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. For some technical English problem, we can continue our quiz from the website to join. So to join our quiz, you have to go to www.slido.com and today code is 285295. Okay, now start our quiz session. Our first question is to check that mind you made mind you will help and be mentally. Adam, be brand. Correct answer is B on the leaderboard. First person name is Shamima Raghu. I could drink mental or emotional health mind. It should be from. Correct answer A on the leaderboard. First person name is Shamima. Tabassum Nasir. Mental health about your mind. It should be false. Correct answer A on the leaderboard. First person name is Tabassum Nasir. Mental health only relates to mind. It should be false. Correct answer is B on the leaderboard. First person name is Tabassum Nasir. Next question is mental health brings to your mind at you before. Correct answer is A on the leaderboard. First person name is Tabassum. Mental health involves your mind and emotions at you before. Correct answer is A on the leaderboard. First person name is Tabassum. Mental health is in your mind at you before. Correct answer is B on the readable practice name is Mark Dominic B. De La Cruz. A mental health uses your mind to develop thinking as you before. Correct answer is 2 on the readable practice name is Mark Dominic B. De La Cruz. Next question is mental health is the health of your mind as you before. Correct answer is 2 on the readable practice name is Mark Dominic B. De La Cruz. Last question is mental health is the health of your mind. Yes, we know. Correct answer is yes. The double first person name is Mark Donovan. We love you. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition to after on every second. We take a few minutes to find out the written message to reach our online quiz competition certificates on our website and share with you. Please should upload the question answer. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition to after competition second. We will take a few minutes to find out the written message to reach our online quiz competition certificates on our website and share with you. Instead of global professionals, consultants are written on it. This consultants topic everyone will take a like file will take a few minutes to find as well. That is after finish our online course completion certificate on our website which is instead of global professionals. At the end of our session, you can see probably video is never stop learning because class never stop teaching us. Be happy and success you again and again. You want to participate in every program. If you want to do the happiness, try to one of the people of I've got to understand the pleasure for the in the with the another button again master psychology but all students have the right to participation as well. So in the next session, thank you. That's all.